And welcome to It Doesn't Work That Way with me, Kalisha Zachery.
And me, Kachelle Zachery.
Hey, friends.
Hey.
And we have Kim in the studio again. So listen, y'all, it feels good.
It does. Can I tell you why?
Why?
I feel so blessed that if I didn't have to sit in this chair and record right now, I could run downstairs, start running all the way down 635.
That's
Well,
a lot.
This is 35.
35, yeah.
Okay. I could run down 35 on the safe side of the road.
Is there a safe side? I don't know.
No, it's not. I feel so good I could run.
I love that for you.
And jump. When was the last time you jumped?
I don't know.
For joy.
I'm going to do it when we leave here.
For love.
I'm going to do it when we leave here.
You know who wrote the dopest song about jump?
Chris Krause.
No, not even.
Who?
Wait a minute. Like the Pointer Sisters.
Yep.
Doom, 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 doom. Hey. Doom, 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 dun, 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 dun. Doom, 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 doom.
We got it.
Doom, 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 and you want more, and you want more. Just jump, hey, for your love, jump in. Hey, feel the touch.
Yeah, you feeling it. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna call you Kachelle Pointer.
Them sisters was off
the
charts.
They didn't get their props.
They did not.
That's what's wrong with the industry.
It is, but it doesn't work that way.
We give them their flowers.
I'm giving the Pointer Sisters their flowers on this episode. I want to thank them. And I want to give them a proper thanks.
So we're in the film and television industry. And I want to dive into a topic that I feel like is important.
Okay. Wait a minute. Let me give a shout out to Oakland, California.
That's where the Pointer Sisters are from.
That's where the Pointer Sisters are from. I want to thank the Pointer Sisters.
Okay, Baytown.
Because y'all made
Bay Area.
The 70s and 80s the hottest. It was they voices that did it. And I want to give them their props. And I'll just end on that.
Kachelle love music.
Yeah, and that's Ruth Pointer.
Oh my God.
Sadeko Pointer, June Pointer, and Issa Pointer. I'm giving it to them.
Shout out to the Pointer Sisters.
Yes.
We appreciate what y'all did in the music industry.
Absolutely.
So now, can we switch gears? We're going to talk about changing the industry for good.
Woo! This is a good one because I welcome that change. We need that change.
It is. So I'm going to dive in just to a little bit on the Diddy Cassie case.
I'm ready.
And I really want to focus on what it reveals about the entertainment industry as a whole. But more importantly, I really want to talk about what happens next.
That's a good topic.
How do we change it? Right? How do we go from survival stories to just victory? All just going on set or recording the album or doing whatever you have to do and not having to go through trauma. What happened to her was traumatic, right? And talking about the systemic culture within the industry and how it got so bad. And if we don't take this moment, and I'm not just talking about Sean Combs because I believe everybody can have redemption. I believe if you really want to change, you can change. If your mindset wants to change, you can change. And we're going to give him the space for that because I want the space for that. Everybody wants the space for that. What I really want to talk about is changing the culture
of the
industry. So my question,
which is the real machine.
Which is the real machine. He's just a byproduct of it. You know what I mean? So my question is changing the culture easy?
No, Kalisha, it doesn't work that way. The hardest thing to ever do is to change your mind.
I'm proof of that.
Speak, child.
Me and bread. Me and carbs. For real.
It's hard for you to change your mind on it. No, I'm with you. When you have to change your mind, that's the hardest thing to do, period. And I think we don't talk enough about how hard it is to change your mind. And so I think I heard someone say after they released the verdict, once he gets out, he's going to go back to the same behavior that he was doing. They got him in there. And I was like, you're absolutely right, because it's hard to change your mind. That is not an easy thing to do. It's hard to break habits.
Yes.
It's hard to, shift culture. It's hard to change your mind. Like, look, we are in 2025, and all the work that they've done in civil rights have much changed.
Oh,
because it's hard to change.
Some things have changed.
We're facing the same.
I said some things have changed,
but for the most part, it's hard to change. So when you start talking about shifting an industry, changing a culture, where would you begin to gut it out at? Where would you start? Thank you for listening. It Doesn't Work That Way podcast is sponsored by Frame of Reference. The series explores the vulnerable and often hectic lives of a close group knit of friends and provides a truthful evaluation of how fear and past misfortunes can define our present point of view. You can stream season 1 of Frame of Reference on the Roku channel, Tubi TV, or Prime Video.
Well, I want to go back to this. What would when you because there's always been rumors about Sean in the industry. But when we actually seen the video at the hotel as a woman, what was your initial thought?
When I first seen the video, in my mind, my first thought was, I'm not surprised. I mean, I wasn't surprised at all. To me, he's always come across as having a God mentality, a God, like he thinks that he's God, just in the way that he's interacted with people, the way that he has portrayed himself on TV and shows.
We saw it with, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that, he came across as wanting to be above everyone, and everyone was down here.
Above correction?
Yes.
Above
the law.
Above the law.
Above accountability.
I used to see Cassie, and I don't know her music, but I used to see her. They would show her and him at the Met Gala, and I was like, oh my God, she's probably jet setting and living the life, and I just assumed, this is why you should never assume, that maybe she just didn't want to put out music. That was my thought. I was like, oh, okay, she got her man a billionaire. Like if she don't want to work, she ain't got to work, right? And I always think she's beautiful. She has all the designer clothes. She got this, she got that. And then when they started, and I've been following the trial, and this is not a gossip show. This is a change show. But I was following the trial, and my heart sank because she truly was, I don't care what anybody say, he manipulated her. He abused her.
He groomed her.
And the power dynamics were so off kilter.
I would agree. And I think her story and how she allowed us to come into her story should be taken very seriously. And so I tend to not focus more on how it all unfolded. I'm paying more attention, like we are witnessing. We're getting to witness the tape. We're getting to witness what her experiences was like. And it took a lot of courage for her to say, I don't care what anybody think. I got to release this off of me. I got to relieve myself of these. I can't imagine what her memories are like. The healing part of her memories, God give it to her. But because the mind will go there at any time. You know what I'm saying?
Anything could trigger you, a smell,
a thought,
anything.
Anything. So the fact that she allowed us to come into the most intimate parts of her livelihood, intimacy, period, whether it was rape or, you know, she was under influences of drugs and alcohol, that she opened up her soul to the world, basically, how I looked at it. And if we don't take what her experience and do a case study on it, then I feel like we've really
I don't even want a case study.
Can I tell you?
We don't need a case study.
Well, can I tell you?
We need change.
We need case study and change.
We've had the case study. Me Too has been going on for years. We need change.
Can I give you some food for thought?
Yes.
When I say case study, what I'm saying is anyone who is interested in being in the same industry that she was once a part of, the case study that I'm talking about is if you don't know exactly what you want, do not enter into the industry. If you don't even have a concept of your values, do not enter into the industry. And your values is just that, what you value. So our values here at Watts is integrity. So the moment that integrity wasn't on the table, I got to leave. I'm not going to compromise my values. Our second value is respect. The moment I first got disrespected, the first sign of disrespect, I got to go because I know what I want. I want integrity and I want respect. Patience. The first part that there was no patience there, I'm out the door. So a lot of us enter into situations we have no idea what we want. We think we know what we want.
Why do women think? I don't mean to cut you off. I got to ask this question though. Why do we think it won't happen to us?
Naive, arrogant, prideful.
Why do you think we believe that if we have this talent, we want to go in the studio, we get to work with Sean Combs, a hit maker.
Can I say
why
this?
do we believe that abuse is nowhere on the table?
So the first thing we have to do entering into situations, we cannot be impressed.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go in the situation. You got to say, I'm not impressed by they financial status. I'm not impressed by they celebrityism. I'm not impressed by their perceived power. I'm not impressed. So if the moment you become impressed, it's a trap.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you don't know what you want, it's a trap. The moment that you go in not having some level of standards and values, it's a trap.
So change has to happen from the top down and the bottom up. So talking about the bottom up is every girl USA or a guy who are,
because men get abused too.
Men get abused too.
Yes,
you have guys and girls that have this talent. It's raw. They're hungry. They want to be in the industry.
But it goes back to what Kachelle said about going in not knowing what you want, because they see that and take advantage of that. And you not knowing what you want, they're going to tell you what you want. And because of their status, you're going to believe that.
All right.
The nugget is from the bottom up, right? So that's everybody who's trying to go up the ladder, who are in the spaces, and you finally get to even walking into Bad Boy Studio is not an easy thing to do. And so for her to actually have been to that point, that wasn't easy. You just ain't walking into Bad Boy Studios at that time talking about, I want a record deal.
And I think the allure of gatekeeping, how hard it is to even have a seat at the table. I think the allure of scarcity, everybody can't get this far in the game. It's the allure of, there's not very many people here, so you should be so grateful and you should be so thankful that you made it this far. I call bullshit. No, you gotta. No, I'm not impressed by none of it. You gotta go in. You gotta go in not being impressed.
So changing the system truly starts with you.
Facts.
So when I talk about, like, because I was like, I don't want no marches. I don't want nobody, women out there talking about leave us alone. We ain't no more marches. Now we got to go into action. You understand? The same way, our community has said, Target, we good, because I ain't been back yet. Okay, I'm holding strong. But the same way we have to hold strong, we have to hold ourselves accountable. So to your point, and forgive me, I see what you're saying with the case study, is that anybody that has a talent that wants to be in the music industry, and you believe that you don't want to produce it independent, you want to sign with a major label, or if you're an actress or an actor or whatever it, I don't, man, let me go back. You could be working at a dentist office and have some level of craziness going on. It could be any industry USA.
Facts.
But you have to know why you're there, and you have to be able to say, I know my values before I walk into this room.
And have purpose.
Yes. Okay. And you got to know your why. Because if you don't, somebody, to Kim's point, they going to tell you why you here. You here to be my sex slave. If you don't know, no, I'm here to do music. Oh, we ain't recording? All right, I'll be back tomorrow.
Well, what do y'all say to the people who, what would you say to the people who are saying that Cassie is responsible? What do we want to say to them in love?
Responsible for what? Her trauma?
For what happened to her?
There's so many variables to her story. I would refrain for even saying that, because you have to think about it. I didn't know who the hell I was at 18.
Right.
18, and I'm around 30. He was what, 37?
Right.
Come on. So anybody that got any form of emotional intelligence would not touch that. It's too many variables to touch that. And then there also is a level of accountability, but you can get pulled in so far, you don't know how to get out. So at the point that you in the middle of it, you like, I want to get out, but you threatening me with a tape? You gonna release this tape on me?
Oh my God.
Man, I want to get out, but now you threatening my mama and she having to take out a second mortgage on my home. I want to get out because most people ain't gonna believe me, but they gonna believe you. I want to get out. So the variables are stacked so heavy that it's not that simple to say it's just one and done.
Because I mean, when you think about her age, then you throw in and introduce drugs, alcohol. There was no way for her to know who she was or what she wanted. Because everything was just
moving so fast.
Now, this may be controversial.
Because everybody wants to be accepted.
Facts. This may be controversial.
Okay.
And I'll take the hit. I'll take it. But who was there protecting her?
Yeah.
And so at some point, I know 18 is considered grown. So there was probably only so much of an influence that I don't know that the parent had. I don't know if she has siblings that her siblings may have had. But you're wondering, like, hey, I'm willing to let you explore this, but you know, you can never be alone. We have to be able to track your progress. We got to see some proof of concept. We got to see something be released by 6 months, 12 months. Like, who was monitoring who was there to say, hey, I'm not seeing enough output. You know what I'm saying? You recorded over 100 songs, not one release. So it almost seemed like she was kind of like being pushed out to the wolves, and, you know, kind of very much taken advantage of. And then we live in a society where no one wants to listen. And, you know, people be like, I got this, I can handle this. And she may have taken on that attitude, like, I got this, I'm 18, I can handle this, and bit off too much than she could chew.
Yeah, she didn't know she didn't know she had, to your point, Kim. She didn't know. She had no idea. And then when you enter the drugs and all that other kind of stuff,
changes
too
a
many
lot.
influences.
I think it's poignant that as I've been watching all the Cowboy Carter, you know, for every city, people release their videos and stuff, and it's been interesting to me, like the number one video that everybody has been like pushing out there aggressively for each city has been between Beyonce, Rumi, and Blue. And I thought it was poignant, the song that she was singing to her.
Protector. Oh my God. Okay. She's dropping nuggets. She did
So
Protector.
you have,
but then that go back
on,
to, wait
you
a
have
minute, didn't Tina have a talk about, I believe it was said that she was like, when they were in the studio and maybe they did some collaborations with rappers, she was right there.
Yeah, I seen a video where Miss Noel said she never left that studio. She was always in there. She said, I was responsible for other people's children.
I didn't let people, you know, do certain things around them. They couldn't smoke weed in the studio around them. They couldn't curse. Can you imagine my country self in there telling these producers, I'm sorry, but can y'all not smoke in here? You know, and I remember just having to be a little gangster sometimes. Yeah. You know? I remember one time we were in one of the first things that we went to in Florida, and there was this group, and I'm not going to say their name, but they were behind us, and they said, oh, I'm going to take a picture with these, and call the girls, and they were like 16, 17, and they said it one time, and I was like, Tina. So I turned around, and they said it again, and I said, I don't see your mama out here. The record people came, and they were like, oh my God, Miss Tina, you cannot do that. We got to get you to the car. And they told me the name of the group, and they were like, they will shoot you. And I was like, well, they're going to have to shoot me because they can't talk to my girls like that. You know, I was terrified of the things that I had heard. And
rightfully so.
Yeah, and I just
because
wanted
some of
to
these
protect
people that we will not name are some scary people to be around.
Yeah.
As we will come to find out.
You think about it from that perspective, you know, and that could be from anybody, whether that's
You
from
just hit
any
me
situation.
Because I love Cowboy Carter album. It's a great album. If you haven't listened to it, go check it out. But that's the words of that song, Protector, are so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I was born to be your protector.
And then think about the industry that their mother is involved in, one of the most heinous, corrupt industries ever. And so for her to put out such a beautiful song about, and then for her to have both her girls on the stage, not that she doesn't mean that for Sir, but we're being able to see.
We heard Black is King. I think that was his album, I believe. But go ahead.
But I think it's poignant that she talks about protecting them. And then we have to look at each other like that. Like, who's out here protecting us? Who really has our back? And even if we take this advice or reject it, you know, who was saying, you know, you can leave at any time. You know, we're here to help you, and you know, you got everything you need. I don't know. I can't say if that conversation was ever being had with her. But what I'm saying is, we don't talk enough about protection and what that looks like.
Thank you for listening. It Doesn't Work That Way podcast is sponsored by The Watts Announcer. The Watts Announcer is a media brand that covers the amazing emerging talents in the entertainment industry, including movies, TV, and more. The inaugural episode features the cast of Frame of Reference. Hosted by Amanda Gaddison, the exclusive interview will be available only on the Watts Prod YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe for notifications. You just dropped a whole nugget right there. So from the bottom up, and then I'm gonna get to the top down. So from the bottom up this is the bottom up. I'm talking about Cassie at 18. I'm talking about Keisha at 18. I'm talking about Joe at 18. I'm talking about anybody that's new, coming into their industry, coming into this space, and you're so hungry. And then we gotta go to any party. You willing to go to any place. You like, I gotta be here.
Then we gotta talk about background. So you gotta talk about for some individuals, that's all they know. And for some people, what you call toxic, they call normal. Like, this is just living. What? Right. You know, she wasn't abused. I'm doing that. I'm dealing with that every day. That's what y'all call abuse. So when people don't have, again, a healthy version of what it should look like, what else do they have to compare it to? So that's why I was like, her story is a case study, and we should use it to help others. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she gave us the most powerful part of her heart.
So how do we change the system? Is educating ourselves now, no matter where you're at in whatever industry you're going to, educating yourselves on the pitfalls and knowing, saying to yourself, this could easily happen to me, because you could get caught up real quick.
You know what? Anybody that's around me know I have a saying.
Oh, God.
I'd be like, you know what? I used to think I knew. I used to think I knew. I used to think I could handle anything. It's some things you have to grow into.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody can't handle everything the same way. It's enough. You can tell when someone has a lot of street smart.
Yeah.
And you can tell when people can see the okie doke. It's because they lived through something.
Yeah.
And they've been through something. They recognize, oh, that's predator. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. This is the okie doke. I'm being set up here.
Yep.
And everybody doesn't have that same lens they can look through. Some people come into situations so naive and so innocent, and then they just robbed of it. And sometimes people recover, and then we don't talk about the people that don't. It's a lot of people.
That's why it makes me sad and upset when you hear people in the Cassie situation say, "Oh, that couldn't be me. Oh, that would never be me. Oh, I would never do." Well, you can't say what you would do if you haven't experienced it.
Exactly.
There you go, friend.
Exactly.
You put the
I
right.
mean, and just from personal experience, you know, there's been a time in my life where I was that one saying, "Oh, that would never be me," until it was me.
Okay. Okay.
So
you put the right amount of circumstances on anybody. You can't. You won't be able to say what you'll do until you're in it.
Exactly.
And so, I think it's arrogant to make a lot of these assumptions on what you would do. Like, come on, at 18, stop playing.
Yeah.
Stop playing. No.
18, impressionable, young, hungry, wanting to get into this industry.
I think what's the biggest takeaway from me from this whole case is what's next.
So here's my thing for everybody. I want to land this plane. Everyone that is not at the top, working their way to the top, you have to remember, you have to go into the situation knowing who you are.
Yes.
Knowing what's your values.
Yes.
You have to tell yourself, the moment those things get violated,
you got to be out.
You have to be. You have to politely say, "I'm going to the restroom," and then get your keys and go to the car and drive out.
And you got to be willing to trust that whatever is on the other side of you stepping back from that is going to be greater.
And no
than
FOMO.
that.
No FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
None. FOMO means fear of missing out. No fear of missing out. It wasn't for you.
Right.
Because you know your values. And then people, it's so rare that people say, "What are your values?" We ask that to people who come into our production company because we want to make sure that we're rightly aligned when they're working on our projects. What are your values? And a lot of them don't know, or they'll say, "No one's ever asked me that." And we'll say, take some time and think about it, because no matter what, there's always a villain in a story. Jesus had the devil.
Listen.
There's always a villain. And Judas. Well, Judas is what the devil worked through Judas.
Okay.
But his ultimate enemy was the devil. So, but what I'm saying is that there's always somebody bigger, badder, sharper, tactical. They know what they're coming after. And if they see you have it, some people don't care. People don't care if they hurt you.
They do not. Repeat that again.
People do not care if they hurt you. You have to know who you are. And the only way we're going to change the system is to start with, you can start at the bottom and you can do your part, saying, "Oh, wait, they're snorting cocaine. I need to leave.
Right.
I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and go. I'll bring my own drink. I'll cover my drink. I'm not going to get roofied." And why we ain't recording? Weren't we supposed to be in here singing?
And we need to normalize no.
Come on.
Kim. Normalize no. And even though the no may not feel good to them, and you may be afraid to say it because you don't know how it's going to react.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, I heard somebody say with so much confidence, and it changed my career. Somebody was like trying to sell him something, and he was like, "No." And they was like, "But you know, it could do this." He was like, "No." And then they came a third time, and he stopped, and he gave them their full attention. He said, "That's a hard no for me." So in other words, I was saying, I'm good. And it's okay to be corny in that situation. If everybody that's cool is doing drugs and it's about to go real left real quick, it's okay to be corny and be like, you know what, I'm about to after school special this right on out of here. You know what I mean? And I mean that let's make saying no to drugs, and Nancy Reagan, shout out to her, whatever. Because when your mind is being altered,
yes. Then we don't talk enough about that. Okay, fine. You want to hit it for the escapism, but is it going to alter your critical thinking?
Are you in a safe environment?
Is it going to put you in a space where you can be majorly violated?
Do you trust the people that you with?
Exactly. And so some things is just, it's common sense.
And aren't y'all supposed to be working on the album?
Girl, the album got lost in the sauce.
Why are we? And then that's the other thing. Nobody does it better than the Watts Podcast Network.
Just that simple.
I want to talk about from the top.
Okay.
We're giving people nuggets on how they can make change from the bottom as they work their way up.
Yes.
How do you change the top? And I'm not talking about Sean.
Oh, you got to get rid of.
Because to me, Sean Combs is not the biggest culprit in the room.
He's a victim himself.
Hello.
Yes. You got a clean house. Everybody got to go. So we would have to have courageous people.
My prayer is that when he get out, if he have a real repentance, and repentance don't mean, God, will you forgive me?
That's remorse.
That's remorse. Repentance means I have changed my mind. I have changed my ways. I'm no longer going to do this anymore. I'm going to get help. I'm going to get therapy. And then I'm going to sit down with it for an interview. And you could come on. It doesn't work that way, the podcast. And you can tell us who needs to be
brought to the carpet
and made to get out, because it's systemic.
Mm-hmm.
It was too many people okay with Cassie getting beat at a restaurant in front of people.
Facts. And I think another thing that you have to gut the top. So you need a change in guard. Everybody that's there, known and unknown, because we don't know who all the culprits are. They have to get out of there. It has to be cleaned out. And then the next thing, people don't know until they try. So no one is not coming into a situation knowing exactly what you're going to do. They got to try you first.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep falling for the try. So you tried me the first time. That's a hard no.
But you saying that in your 40s.
I want you
to say that at
18.
Let's go back to 18.
I wouldn't have said that unless I was prepared that way.
There you go.
Unless I started with a plan. If I started with a plan, I'm 5 years old. Mommy, I want to sing. And so mommy and daddy come to me and they say, okay, this is the plan for 5 through 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's your new plan from 10 through 15.
Mm-hmm.
And here's your new plan from 15 through 20.
Mm-hmm.
If you got somebody rigorously coming through a plan and they know for a fact, so the plan includes me. So until you're 30, I'm going to be right there. And then the parents can't be vultures.
Right. Okay.
So the parents can't pip the kids out to the predators.
God help us.
That's a whole nother episode.
Here's to my message to everybody that's known and unknown that are at the top that are abusing power at this level. You will get caught.
Oh, yes.
And the consumer, we have a part to play in it, too. Because when people show you who they are,
believe them.
Mm-hmm.
I should have believed that's what he had, that capability.
And then we don't do enough deep dive on problematic favorites.
Oh, well, let me go on and call 911.
Problematic favorites is a real thing.
Because remember, it was certain African Americans who did not want to throw out Chocolate City, the album.
It's certain people that didn't want to throw out Bill Cosby in the Cosby Show. Oh, wow. Come back to the mic. Come back. The Cosby Show is still great. The Cosby Show is still great.
Bill, there's a documentary that W. Kamau Bell did.
It's powerful.
It's on Paramount. Bill, he answers so many questions for me, but Bill Cosby was telling, to your point, Kim, Bill Cosby was telling through his albums, his comedy albums, basically what he was doing. And when I heard about Bill Cosby, the first thing I went to, this is why you can't be so naive. I went to like, they're trying to take Dr. Cosby down. They trying to ruin the black legacy, not knowing that just because let's leave skin color out of it, just because you black don't mean you're not a monster.
Facts. Abercrombie and Fitch.
And that story is so quiet.
Extremely quiet. Abercrombie and Fitch were predators, and
I gotta say
their
this.
prey. Hold on, their prey was males, and they got them involved in a similar Cassie story, but it was just more than one.
It was more than one.
Yes.
They were young, impressionable, thought they were being models.
And the only way they could get the modeling gigs is if they did the orgies in the Hamptons.
Here's my message to legacy media. Laura Coates, I hope you're covering that trial the same way we covered Sean's trial. Okay, because these predators, they're everywhere, and they're of all ethnicities. They're of all genders. They're there. And I don't want us to get into this situation. If we don't start digging more and more, people are going to continue to do the same thing. That's why the world wants to know the Epstein files.
Facts.
Yes.
They're no matter, take politics out of it. We need to know who those people are that are comfortable abusing children.
Facts.
We need to know who those people are that are going to dangle your opportunity for some type of sexual favor or some type of depravity that you may or may not want to do. It shouldn't go hand in hand with your career.
They taking them down from the top. The top are in those files.
Exactly. Which is why we don't have them.
Exactly.
And how do we change this system? It's not just in music. It's not just in film. You got Harvey Weinstein that is in prison right now. He's doing some time right now. He's going to do some more time. We'll find out what's going to happen with the Abercrombie and Fitch man.
Yeah, they were arrested in 2024. Ex-Abercrombie CEO, they were all they were arrested.
When is their trial?
For sex trafficking, and the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch and his partner have been arrested and charged with running a prostitution and international sex trafficking ring. Don't that sound familiar?
It sounds like Sean.
Okay.
And then, but did they say when the trial is?
They pleaded not guilty, of course, but I don't see anything yet on the
There's
trial.
hardly the legacy media
coverage.
is not covering it, but we're covering Sean and what happened with Cassie. And while we should be happy, we should cover that. If we're going to really make a change and gut this out, we have to expose those at the top.
So listen, it's not just in music, it's in clothing.
Yes.
It's in film.
Yes.
And
it's in pharmaceuticals.
Yes, it's in any sector where you got human life.
Period.
We're going to see corruption. And to your right, it all needs to be gutted.
Yes. And the way we have to do it is we too, as consumers, just going back to making a band, I feel so bad.
Well, make your apologies.
I apologize
for
watching it and laughing.
You were naive
and not thinking your life is not entertainment. Your real life is not entertainment. And it's disgusting how I think about it now. Like all of that, he was showing us who he was. We didn't see the sexual side of it,
right?
But we saw his cruelty.
Right.
To make people go walk for a cheesecake when they actually could have just got in a car. Matter of fact, he was so rich, Juniors would have brought him the cheesecake.
Facts. What's the keys? It's heavy. It's a heavy topic.
Stop separating the art from the abuser. If someone built their legacy on abuse, Harvey Weinstein, Sean Combs,
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. Because he did so much good stuff for the community. But we can't separate the two.
What you mean?
Like when I watched that documentary with W. Kamau Bell, the albums that he was talking about was in a comic album, he was talking about putting Spanish fly into a woman's drink. And that's like a roofie, which essentially is what he went to trial for. and I believe he was found guilty of.
No different than Abercrombie and Fitch creating this catalog of clothing that they said that they made sure was over-sexualizing the male models and what they had to do to even get in the magazine. They had to be a part of the sex trafficking ring. And
all of them didn't make the magazine.
So some of them just got trafficked.
Some of them just truly got trafficked. But the other thing is if you see something, say something. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but power is going to protect itself. There was so many complicit individuals.
But when people do speak, Courtney Love was on a red carpet, and they said, "What advice can you give to anybody that's thinking about coming to Hollywood?" She said, "Don't go upstairs with Harvey Weinstein."
She sure did.
She warned them, and they laughed at her. They laughed at her. So when people do speak up,
listen.
But most don't.
Well, you know,
our sister Jaguar, right? No matter how you feel about
Aubrey
her,
O'Day,
right?
Aubrey,
yeah. A lot of people speak up and they'll say, "Oh, they crazy. Oh, they lying." And you know what I'm saying? It's always the opposite of. At some point, we got to get to the space where, you know what? Thank you for warning me. I'm gonna investigate this. Why do we automatically call them liars, problematic favorites? Because we favor
power. Protects itself, but the community corrects it.
Say that again.
Power will protect itself, meaning that everybody at the top that was surrounding Diddy, and there are people that are complicit, that are walking the streets today that knew what men and women.
That was surrounding Mike Jeffries of Abercrombie and Fitch, that was surrounding Harvey Weinstein. Because I want to make sure that that we are leveling the playing field. Predators come in all forms, shapes, sizes.
Some of the predators are women too.
Yes. Okay, now go.
So, but it protects itself. But it's community that can correct it. If enough people if we had known enough people had stood up, you probably would have been able to save a lot of women and men from heartache. So now when the allegations have come out against Tyler Perry, my whole I had
got quiet on him too.
Yeah, but I didn't. All I said, well, I got to follow this. I didn't say, oh my God, they trying to take Tyler Perry down because he done built the studio and he putting black people to work. Don't say that ever again.
Say I got to follow it.
You got to follow the facts, and we need real journalists that are not bought, that are willing to tell the story, and we need to listen. And then we cannot conflate people who lie, because there are men and women who lie about being sexually abused, which is crazy to me, but it happens. But that is like a small portion. So we cannot let that 1% or whatever the percentage is taint all these people who have truly been abused, just wanting to be in the space, or just wanting to have a good time, or just wanting to pursue their art and their career. The community has to say something. We can say it with our dollars.
Amen.
If we don't buy the album, if we don't stream the song, if we don't go see the movie,
the power is in the numbers.
The power is in the community, and build the safe spaces. Y'all stop making fun of Cassie. Stop making fun of these victims. Stop making fun of people.
Victim shaming.
Yes, stop victim shaming. Be an adult. All content ain't funny. It ain't meant for you to go on there and be like, she a real human being. And I'm not just talking about Cassie. I'm also talking about the Jane Does who testified. I'm talking about the people who who couldn't even get up there and testify. I'm talking about all of the civil cases that he still faces. If you are an abuser and you have a lot of power, you need to be asked. You need to be changing your mind now. You need to run and tell on yourself. You need to run and tell on yourself, because you will be caught. Tell me, did Jeffrey Epstein get caught?
He did. Ultimately.
Did Diddy get exposed?
He did. All of them will be. Your time is coming.
You will always be exposed. And to the people who stood up to the Aubrey O'Days, because Aubrey stood up for herself.
She did.
And they gave her a hard time, but Aubrey's an unsung hero. To all the people who said, "No, this ain't for me," and walked out the room, and then their careers were blackballed or whatever. That should have never happened to you, but you're the hero. And if we're going to change the industry, Watts is changing the industry just by how we operate.
Amen.
We make film, but you ain't going to be traumatized doing it.
Facts.
And our stories are uplifting, and we're telling good stories, and that's why we're gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna take it one step at a time. But the industry has to change, and it starts with us, even from being a consumer, being a producer, or being the head person in charge with all the money. If you don't mean right by people, leave them alone.
Man, say that again. If you don't mean people well, we're going to end on this.
End on that, friend.
If you don't mean people well, just leave them alone.
Just leave them alone.
And you know, I said that in front of some actors, and one of the actors said, it's just not that easy.
But it is, Kachelle.
But it is. Because if you don't mean them well, and you consciously saying, I'm not going to leave them alone, then what you saying about yourself?
It's the FOMO. It's the fear of missing out. It's what you think you're going to miss out on. You don't want it bad for your soul. And your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions.
Protected at all costs.
Protected at all costs. Y'all, this was a heavy one, but the industry has to change.
It does.
Kim, thank you for being here.
Yes.
Thank y'all for inviting me.
Absolutely.
We're growing to change the industry.
Yes.
And y'all can call us on our values because we've been tested and passed.
Every single one.
And we will be tested again.
And I'm ready for the test.
All right. So thank y'all for being a part of our community. And as always, I would value your 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. It helps us. It supports our podcast by getting us a wider audience. And listen, here is the tactical things you have to do. Go to Apple, open up that app, leave a rating and a review. Simply scroll down to the bottom of the show page and click write a review. And since you already here on the show, go on and subscribe. Hit that follow and favorite button and join our community. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And to learn more about Watts Productions, go to our website, www.wattsproductions.com/podcast. And guess what, y'all? We'll see you next time.
Well, before we go,
yeah,
I have to give our audience something.
Oh Lord,
to consider.
What is it? Oh my God. Kachelle. No, we done. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yes. Spider, thank you for everything.
Thank you, Spider.
Thanks, Spider.